r/AskReddit. What is the laziest thing you've ever done? Used to have one of those clap on, clap off lights in my room. I hated clapping, so I just made an audio recording of me clapping and mapped it to one of the programmable keys on my keyboard. I hated clapping. I didn't even know that could be a thing. Either way, that's funny. Whoa, that is really lazy. I always heat things in the microwave for 111 or 222 because I'm too lazy to move my fingers to the 0 before I hit start. I have a dog and a cat, and I hate sleeping with the door open. Sometimes dog wants to sleep in the bedroom. Sometimes dog wants to sleep outside the bedroom, but he never decides until I'm comfy in bed. Solution? Keep a laser pointer on my nightstand. Once dog decides where he's sleeping, I'll shine the laser pointer on the door so that my cat paws it closed. It has now become a routine that my cat will wait by the door for the laser before laying down. Genius. Always give the hardest task to the laziest person, because they'll figure out the easiest way to do it. Somebody, somewhere, sometime. Seriously, it's things like this that just prove it right. I was laying in bed with the light on and wanted to go to sleep with it off. I called my house from my cell phone and asked for myself in a disguised voice. When my mom came in to bring me the phone, I asked her to turn the light out when she left, hung up both phones and went to sleep. How are you not a supervillain yet? That was so evil and genius. You ducking legend. I like to imagine you didn't go for a normal voice and settled for a Nigerian Prince twang. Late to the party, but this one is too good to pass up. I was once on a US military ship, having breakfast in the wardroom, officer's lounge, when the operations officer, ops, walks in. This guy was the definition of not a morning person. He's still half asleep, bleary-eyed, basically a zombie with a bagel. He sits down across from me to eat his bagel and is just barely conscious. My back is to the outboard side of the ship, and the morning sun is blazing in one of the portholes, putting a big bright ass circle of light right on his barely conscious face. He's squinting and chewing and basically just remembering how to be alive for today. It's painful to watch, but then zombie ops stops chewing, slowly picks up the phone, and dials the bridge. In his well-known "I'm still totally asleep" voice, he says, "Hi, it's ops. Could you shift our barput? Yep, 165. Thanks." And puts the phone down. And then he just sits there, squinting, waiting, and then, ever so slowly, I realize that that big blazing spot of sun has begun to slide off the zombie's face and onto the wall behind him. After a moment it clears his face and he blinks slowly a few times, and the brilliant beauty of what I've just witnessed begins to overwhelm me. By ordering the bridge to adjust the ship's back and forth patrol by about 15 degrees, he's changed our course just enough to reposition the sun off of his face. He's literally just redirected thousands of tons of steel and hundreds of people so that he could get the sun out of his eyes while he eats his bagel. I am in awe. He slowly picks up his bagel, and for a moment I'm terrified at the thought that his own genius may escape him. That he may never appreciate the epic brilliance of his laziness, since he's not going to wake up for another hour. But between his next bites he pauses, looks at me, and gives me the faintest, sly grin, before returning to gnaw slowly on his zombie bagel. I think this is one of the greatest things I have ever read. Sometimes, oh so rarely, at a place you least expect it, you read something truly, mind-bogglingly, glorious. Tupper Wolf. That was beautifully executed. But dude, be honest, you've probably told that story to so many people by now you have it down to the syllable and the exact length of the dramatic pauses. Sailors love to tell sea stories. In order to not walk 5 feet to my bed, I decided to fall asleep on my recliner, hurling down the window shade a little extra, so I could use it as a blanket. Shot 10 Nerf darts at my light switch, from bed, missed all of them and slept with the lights on. Solution: if you never turn the lights on, you don't have to turn them off. I once laid in bed so long, they turned the lights off for me by non-payment of the bill. Are you now fused to the bed? I tried the same but with one shoe at the switch, missed, second shoe at the bulb, glass everywhere. My roommate and I arranged our dorm room to be lazy capable. One person was able to reach the mini fridge and light switch from her bed, and the other could reach to the window and AC heat from her bed. We never fought again. I remember my freshman year my neighbor, and later to be roommate, made an intricate system of strings and counterweights so he could pull a string from his bunk and kill the lights. Edit. Forgot some words. We did this to close the windows in the morning. Used a bottle of detergent as a counterweight. Eventually there was a big mess. Spent a half hour searching for a torrent to download a textbook that I had left in another room. Called my mom's office line from the living room to ask her a question. She has a home office. Me and my siblings used to text each other on the phone, using Nokia 3390s, not the smartphones of today, when we were just a room away. Heck, the walls were so thin, if someone left their phone on outside profile you can hear their SMS tone, and if someone didn't answer right away, we'd usually yell. Haha, I feel better now. When I lived at home, I called my house phone a few times using my cell phone from my bed to ask my mom/dad to come close my door or turn off the lights in my room or to tell them to be quieter cause I wanted to sleep. This is how heart disease starts, kids. Washed bed sheets. Didn't put the sheets on till 2 months later. Had the pizza guy deliver a pizza. I lived above the pizzeria. Here are a couple. Roommate was on the other side of the apartment, maybe 20 feet away, and we're both using our computers. Sent him an instant message to find out what he was doing and if he wanted to go grab some lunch. Came home and tripped in the doorway, falling flat on the floor. I kicked the door shut with my foot and fell asleep for 3 hours. I was drunk one night and decided the bathroom was too far away, so I pissed in my cat's litter box. Didn't feel like cleaning it up in the morning, so I just threw the whole litter box in the garbage. I downloaded a movie instead of going upstairs to grab the DVD. And the movie was? The Avengers. It's on Netflix. You could have taken it to the next level. I didn't want to get up to get scissors to open a package I had, so I grabbed the cat and used his claws. It was soft plastic and the cat was indifferent. The cat was indifferent, just as lazy. FTFY. Eating my food directly from the pot to eliminate dishes. I hate washing dishes. I do this, too, when I am the only one at home. Sometimes I might even eat with the ladle and stuff. Sigh. An update is available. Ask me in 4 hours. Ask me in 4 hours. Ask me in 4 hours. God damn it. Ask me in 1 day. I tried to skip to the good part of a 33-second YouTube video. I tried to skip to the good part of a Vine. I ran out of clean bowls for cereal, so I lined the bowls with foil over the old food and made a bowl of cereal. After that I threw away the foil and did it again the next day. I was out of the country for a few weeks, and the morning I came back, I saw my boyfriend eating cereal out of a measuring cup with a plastic spoon. I can never leave again. Reminds me of black books. I am currently eating scrambled eggs with a comb from a shoe. Edit Rock Me Amadeus is right. I put baked beans originally. In college, we hooked up those hamster water bottles to our headboards with a wire so that we could drink from them when hungover. It enabled us to just open our mouth instead of having to move any other part of our body. We didn't get much water out of it. Edit. Link. You need to get a Camelback. I'd give you a link but I'm too lazy. Called the restaurant to send the waiter back to my table. This is just genius. So many geniuses in this thread. Masters of efficiency. Why the hell isn't there a flag system at restaurants? Every table gets 2 flags and a flag stand. One flag is red, one is green. If you need something, you put up the red flag. If you want to be left alone and enjoy your goddamn meal without your conversation being interrupted, you put up the green flag. It makes everyone's life easier. Sometime just please do this. I don't care if you take credit for this brilliant idea. Just make it happen. Japanese diners just have a button you can press, and somewhere in the restaurant there's a ding and your table number appears to alert the waitstaff that you want someone to come to you. It's super nice. I was in a class called OJT, on the job training, in high school. Every day the last 25% of school was dedicated to me being able to leave class to go to work. We were given grades by our employers which would then turn into grades for the class. As a high school senior, I convinced the teacher that oversaw this program that because I had my own corporation that I used to sell stuff on eBay, I should be able to be my own boss. She agreed. I failed that class because I didn't bother to fill out the paperwork to give myself a grade. Holy shit, guy. My roommate in college went home for a 3-day weekend, and I stayed in bed the entire time. I got up twice to pee and brought 4 bags of sour cream and onion potato chips to bed with me. She walked in on Monday at 9 PM, laughed so hard she cried, and forced me to get in the shower. You peed twice in 3 days? That sounds really unhealthy. This thread is making me feel a little better about my life choices. When I was in college, I ordered pizza for delivery because I wanted cigarettes and asked if there was a driver there that would pick me up some cigs for an extra $10 on top of his normal tip. We had a Circle K next door to my apartment complex I could see from my window. The cigs cost me $33. This reminded me of a time when I ordered a cab to get cigarettes. It had just snowed and I hadn't shoveled the snow off my car yet. There's this gas station about 3 blocks away, but I was too lazy and cold to walk. So I ordered a cab to drive me to the gas station and wait and then bring me home. He looked at me like I was nuts. TV remote was 2 feet out of reach, so I downloaded the remote control app instead. Edit. My particular cable provider has an app that works with their cable box, so it was their proprietary app. Been there myself. Now I wonder what I'd do if my smartphone were out of reach. Download girlfriend app. Nah, too many microtransactions. Ain't nothing micro about those transactions. I couldn't be bothered replacing the batteries in my wireless mouse, so I downloaded a mouse app for my phone. That was 2 months ago. I still haven't changed those batteries. Eating a microwavable meal in bed. I got it all over. I then took off my sock to use as a napkin. We would be good friends. You two would be too lazy to ever hang out with each other. Threw a shoe to knock over the cat food bag so I didn't have to go all the way into the garage to open it and dump it into the bowl. I lost 14 pounds because I didn't feel like eating. I know a guy who accidentally went on a raw vegan diet because he just couldn't be bothered cooking. Just spent half the year munching on carrots and apples like a spoiled pony. Haven't eaten for 3 days cause didn't feel like cooking and lacked money to order food. I have a feeling that could be unhealthy. But at least he paid the internet bill, right? For me, internet, food. I just realized I have a problem. If anyone asks, there are cookies in the browser. Not me, but a buddy of mine was laying in bed one morning, picked his nose and had nowhere to put it back in his nose. Who throws gold back in the mine? Attached my dog's leash to my RC monster truck car and walked her around the cul-de-sac with it, all from the comfort of my living room. Don't judge. You must have a tiny dog. Or a big RC car. U/Reddit's one true god is Grant O'Mahara from Mythbusters. His remote control car is a Honda Civic. There's a nail that's directly behind my head that I hit every day. It's been there for over a year. Try to nail it in with your head. Drove to class. Escalators up to 3rd floor classroom were broken. Went home. That happened to me one time at the gym. Figured I'd grab a donut and try again next month. Escalators can never break. They can only turn into stairs. Sorry for the convenience. I've been sitting on the toilet for 45 minutes cause I don't want to pull my pants up. Edit. Apparently a lot of people think this is gonna give me hemorrhoids. Well, I hope that you're wrong, but I want to assure everyone that at the moment my ass is okay. I woke up about 30 minutes late and called in sick to work instead of rushing to get ready for the day. This happens to me way too often. The real winners will be too lazy to log on and write in this thread. My TV was on my dresser and I didn't have a remote. I had turned off Netflix in an effort to go to bed. I decided a few minutes later that sleep is for the weak and decided for more Netflix. I never got up to turn my TV back on though. I watched hours of Netflix on my tiny phone to avoid getting up for 5 seconds. I once hooked up with a guy on Grindr and made him go past the grocery store to get me some milk on the way to my place. I didn't even really feel like sex, but I sure did feel like cereal. Sexual favors for cereal? Sounds about right. My husband did this but I took advantage, so I'm guilty too. We were in his man cave attached to the garage. It's about 100 feet from the house. Using his cell he called the house phone. One of the kids answered and he told him to come to the cave. When he got there my husband told him to grab a beer out of the fridge that was about 10 feet away. I said, while you're there, grab me a soda. I feel so ashamed. I grew up before cell phones, so my dad's preferred method was to yell in my general direction, and when I came over ask me if I was going to the kitchen. Regardless of the answer, he would say do me a favor and go get me a soda, chips, whatever, and ask your mother if she wants anything. I'm in my 30s and though I moved out years ago, every time I visit he does the exact same thing, and I always go after asking mom if she wants anything, and we laugh about it every time. Worth it? Of course. Scratch my ass by farting. I had BBQ sauce on my cheek at a restaurant. Rather than get up to grab a napkin, I used a piece of bread to wipe it off and then ate it. That's also the fattest thing I've done. That's not being lazy, that's being smart. Today I learned I'm actually not that lazy. Seriously, I never thought I'd say this, but I feel like a responsible, practical, and reasonably hardworking person right now. Fell asleep wearing full makeup, woke up, wore the same makeup the next day. I hate you all not having horrible raccoon eyes in the morning, yet admire you all at the same time. Asked a friend to FaceTime me the Miss Universe pageant as she was watching it at home and I was in bed and the TV was downstairs. I was a month and a half late for my birth. Opened up my window and pissed out on the roof rather than walk all the way to the bathroom. I only needed to wipe one more time and was out of TP. I used the brown roll from the inside. Thanks for watching, mate. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more high quality content.